Good afternoon. It's October 25th, 2023, and today we had a big sell-off starting in the overnight. Let's see. So to the bottom, it was 64 points. Yeah, so I think this move down, I think to give yourself context, is you wanted to draw the range around it and see what the 50% mark was, because that's where it corrected to before selling off again. And since about 10:54, we've just been going sideways with an upward bias. So yeah. So we were kind of chopping sideways after a move down in the overnight. Well, really, we made what looks like about 2 legs of correction. And then we just sold off and formed this spike and channel down. As you can see. And this is a very strong move down. So when you get that second entry short off of that trend line, you have to take that. And that would have gotten you in on a pretty nice move. If you ride it till the break, you'd get an 8-point move. So that's pretty nice. You see an overshoot that leads to a break. Let's see. Would you have gotten burned if you took this? 30, 25. So it looks like you would have just gotten out there. So that's tempting, but that's why you got to be careful around those trend line breaks. So we get this breakout of the range. All right, I had to pause this video for a couple hours in the middle of making it, but I remember talking about this second entry. We get an overshoot, leads to a break, and then you get a sharp move down to a new low. So it's reasonable to think that this is the end of the trend and we're going to go sideways. I still don't really see anything I would like. I mean, I think it's too early to go long. And you get what looks like a second entry short here. So, I mean, maybe you take that one. But, you know, we have higher closes right here after this swing low. So I think that's a little too aggressive. But, I mean, I'm considering marking it green just because there's reasons to be interested in that. 27. And you get out with the scalp. But yeah, that's tough. Those, you know, I feel like maybe I shouldn't mark it, but I mean that's just so tempting. But you know, it's a tough call. Anyway, we bounce and we reverse, and so you get this super bullish move. It slows down, comes back, first entry, second entry. We have a trend line, and that's off the trend line. So you might want to take that. And who knows, maybe you get a low for the day, which you don't here, but you could have quite easily gotten, 8-point runner before it pulls back. And this one's tempting. That's kind of like a second entry long. But, I mean, we had some selling, so it's aggressive. It's very aggressive. Come to the top of the channel, you get this lower high. That's pretty tempting too. And then you get a break, and you get a move to a new high. And then it goes sideways before we start making lower highs. And I don't think you can take this one. There's just too much overlap. But, that pretty much confirms the trend channel. So I got to at least mark that. It's a second entry short, and it confirms the trend channel. and it just flies straight down. Honestly, this one right here though, only problem, like you got a quick triple test. Only problem here is we made a new low, but that's pretty tempting. Quick triple test, we're going sideways and we already had a break and a move to a new high, so that's something you also want to be careful of. Second entry short, boom. First entry, second entry. So this looks pretty good. It's off the trend channel, but we got it followed up with an inside bar, so that's really tough to take that. But then you get a lower high right here, so I kind of like that one. Then we get another lower high off the trend channel, and then you get a lower high after that, which is a second entry short. And then you get a lower high, which is also a failed second entry long. But these are kind of in no man's land. And, you know, plenty of people, it's very obvious here that there were people at this point playing a midline or a channel low down here. So that's another reason this is pretty aggressive. Turns out I think that the channel was actually here. And so we're just selling off, and you get this first entry, second entry. I marked it red, but it's in no man's land. But what I like is you have this bullish move up, a break, move to a new high, and it's a lower high. Very bearish signal bar. So that's why I like this, but it is just in the middle of the channel. Getting these lower highs. That's actually a second entry short. And you get an overshoot, and then it comes back to the midline, shoots down, come up here, first entry, second entry short. That looks like a repeat of this, in my opinion. And then we get the second overshoot, and that is when the bulls come in. So I see this a lot, this like double overshoot pattern. So just something to keep in mind for your own viewing. You know, I've never heard any of the experts talk about this, but I've seen this a lot where it overshoots, comes back in, doesn't quite get the break. We get to overshoot again, and then you get the break. And that's exactly what happened here. So look at this. We get the first overshoot. You get a move, a pretty bullish move, but there's some sideways stuff in the middle of it. Break, move to a new high. Then the second overshoot, very bullish move. Break, two legs of correction, another very bullish move, and then we sell off and we just go sideways. So something to think about here. Okay, so this one, a nice trap right here, failed second entry long, but you know, we've had two overshoots, and this is a pretty good bull move right here, so you just got to be careful. And there's some dojis in here, really like 1, 2, 3, 4 dojis in a row, so you just really got to be careful. And this looks like a sideways, like a trading range. So I don't think you want to go long because of the context of the day. Maybe you take this one. And that's it. And you can see we got a massive gap down right now. So there is a body gap. You can see they closed the gap with the wicks. But just something to keep in mind going into tomorrow. So I hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.